The hardships that we face today, the challenges that we face today, the stress we face today, the anxiety we face today, and all these things that are not comfortable that we have to find a way to get through, and we're like, why the fuck is this happening to me? The reason we're going through that, guys, is because the real test, the real challenge, the real dream, the big things in life are coming up for us.
I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. I need a bag, bruh. Send it through quickly. I'm making his dog like I'm in the big leagues. Told him that I gotta go, dog. I'm riding the road, y'all. I think that I'm back in my bag now. So I need that go, y'all. Got hits when he throwing the fastball. Just too quick for it. Peeling off like the whip.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Do Good Movement. Our purpose here is to make a positive impact in our society through real life education. Thank you guys for joining today. The movement goes around when you guys share the content to help other people do good just like you. So let's get that movement going. I appreciate you guys every time you share the content to your friends, to your family, to your social media pages, to get it out there, because again, that's our ultimate purpose. Today I'm gonna have just a real life conversation with you guys about the roller coaster. And the roller coaster I'm gonna talk about is it worth it? Is the juice worth the squeeze, and how to get through the ups and downs of whatever you're going after to get to that ultimate prize? So that answer could easily change for all of us, clearly, right? We have this vision, we have this dream, and we start chasing it, and then it gets difficult, it gets hard, and then we either make a pivot or we somehow negotiate with the commitment we made to ourselves around our dream. And there's a reason that was your dream in the beginning. There's a reason why you had this vision in the beginning and you want to get there and you obsessed about it. And it's, I'm gonna take on the responsibility right now to help coach you on getting through the roller coaster of life to get your ultimate dream. And before I do that, I wanna be open with you guys. Even where I sit today in my life, I still ride that same roller coaster. I still question my dreams. I still question my vision. I still ask myself, is it worth it? Is it worth the heartache? Is it worth the stress? Is it worth the anxiety? Is it worth the late nights? Is it worth the time I'm not with my family? Is it worth it? Because at the end of the day, our dreams are what we set out for ourselves. They don't necessarily need to be accomplished. We're going after those because we want to go after them. So we're chasing something that we set out for ourselves, and we get to change that any day we want to. Not saying you should. It's really important, guys, that when you sign up for something, you stay committed to it and you keep your self-promises true. Because when you don't keep your self-promises true and you quit on your self-promises, you'll start noticing all the other things that are important in your life. You will start quitting on when it gets hard. So you want to keep that behavior strong, and you keep that behavior by staying true to everything that you set out. Now, understanding that you're going to go through this roller coaster of good times and bad times and how to keep going. Guys, there's some times where you're on this roller coaster and you're in such a low where nothing's fucking worth it. You'd rather go work at McDonald's. You'd rather live by yourself. You'd rather start over. You just want to go back to simple. You want to go back to easy. I know that feeling, guys, because I have lived that feeling so many days of my life. And I continue to live that feeling. But the reason why I don't accept that feeling is because I know what the highs are like. And I know how to consistently get those highs and live my life at that high. But it's constant work. I have not built the talent. I have not built the skill set, nor do I know or think it's possible to create a talent and skill set to always right at the top. You're always going to hit some type of bottom to go back up. So if you know that as you go through this journey of life, whatever you're chasing, you're going to continue to go up, but you just need to make it through those valleys. I'm going to talk to you about some of the things I personally do to get me through that valley so my trend is always going up. One is I built the discipline to stay true to whatever I commit to. And so can you guys. And I talked about some of those examples just a minute ago. Number two, I put myself in a position where I can't back out. I sign up for things. I commit to things. I publicly announce things that I cannot unwind or it will literally demolish everything that I've built. It will demolish my reputation, and everything that's important to me and other people that I am leading. So like one of the things, guys, like the Do Good movement, as much as it's for you guys, as much as this podcast is for you, it's also for me. It's something that I have to show up to every single week. It helps me live up to the standards that I commit to on this podcast. It helps push me to create better standards and better habits in life so I can come back and teach it to you guys. So this Do Good movement is one example of how I continue to go. The next thing in business, I constantly push my business to be better. And when you push a business and when you push anything to be better than where it is today, there's going to be breaking points and there's going to be struggle. And so as I push my businesses, there's fallout of employees. There's times in the year where we might not be as profitable as we want to be. We commit to certain leases or buildings when we're growing and opening up new facilities. And the only way to get through that is to make it work. I have built my business where you cannot unwind my business. The only way to stay in business is to grow business. Like I've literally structured it that way on purpose. So those days that I want to quit, those days where I'm like, man, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. Then I go down the road and say, okay, well, how do I get out of it? How do I not get to do this? And every time I come to find out, I have those handcuffs on where there are no options there. There's commitments out to people like you, and there's commitments out inside my business and other things in my life that are not breakable. They are not unwindable. There's commitments that I've made to my family, to my kids, and said, this is what our life's going to look like. It is now my responsibility to make that happen. So when I go through my lowest days, I will go through all the other options. And when I'm going through all the other options, I learn that those aren't even options. And so once I go through the poor me and the pain and the cries and understand that this is what life looks like and the only way to get through life is up, that is how I get through the roller coaster. And every time, guys, as I hit the bottom and I stay committed and I stay in it and I get through that season, and a lot of times they're longer than a day. Sometimes these seasons could last 3 months of just a dark place. Once I get through and I deal with the minutia, I'll find that next high again, and that next high will catapult me way further than I thought I could ever be. So if you guys are in a situation questioning, is the juice worth the squeeze? I'm going to be upfront with you and tell you right now, you're going to hit parts in your life, you're going to hit parts in your career, you're going to hit parts in your relationships where it does not make sense. And knowing that you need to make sure you commit to whatever you set out to yourself, and you commit to whatever you set out for other people, and you put deals together that you cannot back out of, because you're going to need that energy and that chip on the shoulder, whatever you want to call it, to get through that bottom, because those bottoms are dark. And when you're in that bottom, the light is not bright enough. The light is not bright enough. And so make whatever you're doing your only option. And with that being your only option and getting your back pushed against the walls we talk about in a lot of different episodes, you will find a way to get your back off the wall, because none of us like to live every day in uncomfort. We like to visit what uncomfort looks like, but when we're in an uncomfortable spot, we're always going to find a way to get comfort. So what I'm saying here, guys, is make sure how you set up your life is you live and your back is very close to that wall to being uncomfortable. And if you're there, you're always going to be pushing yourself and reaching past what you thought is possible to get you out of that situation. Rinse and repeat that. And now knowing this, guys, this is the most important part about this whole episode. What's the juice? What's the juice? What's the end goal? What are you striving for? Is it monetary? Is it spirit? Is it love? What are you striving for? And before you tie your emotions to what that answer is, here's what you need to strive for, and here's what I strive for. My juice My real juice at the end of the day, how I can mentally get through the pain, how I can mentally get through the struggle, my juice, guys, is the experience. It's not the big business. It's not the great relationships. It's not all these things. That is important to me. But at the end of the day, the thing that is most important to me is that I learned. And if I can go through life and looking at things as an experience, if I lose in that experience, if I lose doing whatever that thing I'm trying to tackle doing, what I did gain through there is that experience. And now I know what to do for next time. And now I know how to get better. And so if I could get that win out of things, I'm going to continue to progress in my life. So that juice, guys, make the real juice the experience. And I believe the things that we experience today, the hardships that we face today, the challenges that we face today, the stress we face today, the anxiety we face today, and all these things that are not comfortable that we have to find a way to get through, and we're like, why the fuck is this happening to me? The reason we're going through that, guys, is because the real test, the real challenge, the real dream, the big things in life are coming up for us. And we get to do this thing every single day and build a skill set, build new behaviors, build this experience. So when the thing that comes and hits us in the future, we're well equipped for it, we're prepared for it, and we know how to get through that. So look at what you're doing today, not as this is my life and if it breaks, it falls apart. Look at what you're doing today as an experience to get better for the next thing that's coming your way. And so if you have that kind of attitude and you have that kind of mindset, you will always find a way to get through the roller coaster. When I was talking about putting your back up against a wall, making things a thing where you can't untie it, that's what I have to do personally to really get through those next days. But I do go through thinking sometimes if like, hey, this really got fucked, man. This got fucked. Does it mess me up? And the answer is no, it doesn't mess me up, because here's all the good things I got to learn from it. And here's the next things that I get to go do. But if you have that mentality and you have the attitude of not quitting, keeping your self-promises true, you'll always find a way through it, guys. You will always find the next hill on that roller coaster, the next mountain to beat your chest and feel good. But the only way to get to the next mountain, as they say, is you're gonna have to go through a valley. So be prepared for the valley, make your commitments to yourself prior to the valley, and make sure when you get to the valley that you cannot unwind it and stay there, that the only way to get through is to continue to persevere through the valley until you get to that next peak. I believe in you guys. These feelings that you're feeling today, the stress, the hardship, the questions, the mentality, all the shit, right? Everything you're feeling today, it's normal, guys. It's part of the process. You're not alone. There's millions of people going through the same thing today. I go through the same thing. It's just a normal part of life. And the reason you're feeling that is because you know where you want to be and you're just not there yet. So pat yourself on the back for having standards for yourself, to wanting to be in a better place. If you guys have that, you're able to accomplish greatness, because that means you guys have vision. That means you guys have a dream. And that is the hardest freaking thing to have. That's what I got for you guys today. Do good.